Celebrating the Buddha. Why do we celebrate the Buddha? We celebrate because we value something. We want to express our appreciation and love, our gratitude. Why do we value, appreciate and love the Buddha? Is it because we are Buddhists? Are we Buddhists because we value the Buddha? Why do we value the Buddha? Is he our father or our mother, brother or sister or friend, husband or wife? Is he our child or our lover, our teacher? What relation do we have to the Buddha to love him? Is he our neighbor, our enemy? Is he ourselves? Who is the Buddha? And more important, what does he have to do with us? Why did we invite him into our lives? He is not our father or our mother, brother or sister. He is not one of our friends, not our husband or wife. He is not our child, our lover, neither our enemy nor our neighbor. He is not in our lives the same way these people are in our lives. We have had to contact him somehow. We have had to connect with him. We have had to make a kind of relations with him in our lives. Otherwise, we wouldn't call ourselves Buddhists, and no one would have asked me to give a talk called Celebrating the Buddha. So who is the Buddha? What does celebrating the Buddha mean? Is this celebrating our relation to the Buddha? How do we relate to the Buddha then? How do we relate to someone who is not here right now? For example, if I recollect my sister, she is not here right now. Am I still in relation to her? How is this relation happening? If I don't see her or hear her, how is the connection happening? It seems to me that I can connect with her through imagination. I imagine her face, her body, her way of talking, her smile, her tears. I can imagine all this thanks to memories of moments we have spent together when I was connecting through the six sense consciousnesses, seeing her, hearing her, touching her, smelling her, not so much tasting her, and thinking her. The six sense consciousnesses are helping me to recollect my sister together with the other aggregates. But what is really happening when I am with her? And how is this different from when I am not with her? I think that to have a relation implies to be two, to be something different than the other. And we build a relation when we are together and when we are not together. But have I ever spent moments with the Buddha? I don't think so. How can I recollect him? How can I celebrate him? What do I know about the Buddha? There is a really good talk by Divan. You can listen in free Buddhist audio called What Do We Really Know About the Buddha? I'm told he lived around 2,500 years ago in India, and he had a very privileged life. He saw the four sights, and he really saw them. Centuries after his death, his teachings were written, and thanks to that, we have now translation in English and other languages. It's said that he couldn't read or write. His education was quite different from ours. As well, it's said that he left behind his family in order to go forth and become the Buddha. How did we come here today? We were born in a family. They took care of us, and we had what we needed to grow and become adults so that we can live our lives. We were given the gift of human life. The Buddha was a human being as well. He was born in a family like us and became the Buddha. So the first thing to celebrate, if we want to celebrate the Buddha, is to celebrate our father and our mother. Thanks to them, we are here today. They are not perfect, but are we? Traditionally in Buddhism, there are two more things we celebrate and are grateful for: our teachers and our spiritual friends. In words of Sangharakshita, the greatest of our spiritual friends is the Buddha Shakyamuni, who discovered or rediscovered the path that we as Buddhists follow today. It is to him that we go for refuge. It is the Dharma he taught that we try to practice, and it is with the support of the Sangha he founded that we are able to practice the Dharma. We therefore have reasons to be intensely grateful to him, more grateful in principle than we are to anyone else. Our parents have indeed given us life, but what is life without the gift of the Dharma? Our teachers have given us knowledge, education, and culture, but what value do even these things have without the Dharma? It is because of the Buddha that we are here together, that we all made the effort, took the time, spent the money, did all we had to do to get where we are now. And I'm not only talking about now in this place, I'm talking about where we are now in our lives, where each of us is right now. All we have done until now that make us who we are. And who are we? Above all, we are Buddhists. And are we relating to the Buddha, or is he relating to us? Perhaps it's both. So many centuries ago, he had the courage to live his privileged life, to search for the truth. Shocked by what he saw, an old person, a sick person, a dead person, and a holy wanderer. Urged by these four sights, he had to follow his heart. He saw our condition and predicament, and he also saw a way out, a path of vision that took him to a path of transformation. Then he made a radical change in his life and started his search. One that carries on until now. Here, right now, his search is in motion. Here we are traveling his path. We are gathered at this moment, moved by the same vision he had, the same heart, the same deep longing for the truth, and at the same time, we are different from him, he who showed us the way. He had to find out for himself. After years of austerities, mistreating his body, thinking that was the way, he realized it was a mistake and carried on with his search. And at some point, his determination took him to sit down and say something like, "Flesh may wither away, blood may dry up, but until I gain enlightenment, I shall not move from this seat." He gathered all his strength, energy, courage, confidence, and love for humanity, and He was ready to die in order to follow his deep longing for truth. Moved by his intense love for his family, his loved ones, all humanity, all sentient beings, and beyond. He gave all he had to this search, the most noble search a human being can aspire. The search for liberation, for ending suffering and death, the search for love and compassion with no limits or conditions. To give oneself fully to others means to celebrate the Buddha. To breathe in and out while knowing I'm breathing in and out means celebrate the Buddha. To give a hug means to celebrate the Buddha. In all small things in our lives, we can celebrate the Buddha in the taste of an orange, or the smile of a child, in the breeze touching our skin. He showed us the way, the free, the fully and perfectly awake, equipped with knowledge and practice, the happily attained, the knower of the worlds, guide unsurpassed of men and women to be tamed, the teacher of gods, men and women. Thanks to him, we are doomed to evolve. If we make the effort, the success is guaranteed. In order to become the Buddha, he had to not be the Buddha. So we have the raw material he had. We are not a Buddha, so that means we can become one. We have to be different from something to become that thing. Realizing this is a great blessing because this can allow us to let go of clinging. Why do we cling onto something if what is coming is something better? The Buddha had set the example. He taught us out of the forces of compassion. Are we ready to receive it? Our hearts are longing for compassion. And there he is, pouring down buckets and buckets of it from timeless times to every single person, animal, living being, and beyond. Do we have a container to put the compassion in? Is it possible to neatly put the Buddha's compassion in a box? How can we receive something that has no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, and no thought? How can we open up to something which is beyond to what is here? Maybe trying to understand that what is here is more than we think, or it's something other than we think, or even it's completely not what we think. Opening up to the possibility that we don't know, but we have the innate capacity to know. It's only possible to know because we don't know, and only possible to wake up because we are not awake. The obstacle becomes the path. It's only possible to let go because there is clinging. Clinging and letting go are two sides of the same coin, as well as Buddhahood and humanity. When we celebrate the Buddha, we celebrate our potential. We celebrate ourselves. We celebrate every single effort, in body, speech, and mind of humanity from timeless times and beyond timeless times. So here we are, evolving, becoming, discovering, making use of this precious life as fully as we can, in company of brothers and sisters in the path of transformation, the path of beauty, the path of generosity. Here we gather thanks to Sangharachita, a man of profound wisdom and compassion, a visionary, a poet, a teacher, a friend. A man whose determination, faith, and longing for the truth took him to follow his heart, beyond and above any other thing in the world. How can I convey what has been given to me? The infinite treasures of life, the secrets of happiness, the touches of untouchable forms, the imaginations of the unimaginable. How can I contain the content if there is no container? How can I celebrate the Buddha when he is the one who celebrates me? In all my splendor and grace, in all my stinginess and envy, the only possible way we can really celebrate the Buddha is becoming one. Because this is our true nature, our birthright, our destiny. We are doomed to succeed. The Buddha has given us something truly precious, the meaning of life, the meaning of our life, a very tangible and concrete task whose origin is right in every bit of our hearts. We begin by celebrating our life and the lives of people before us who made possible for us to be here today. In doing so, we can receive the support of others right in this very moment, and our chest can expand and become bigger with gratitude. To be grateful means to know what has been done for us, to remember it, to give it attention so it can grow and overflow. And in this way, others can receive it too. It's an endless chain of giving and receiving, each one depending upon the other, interdependent and insubstantial, both arising and ceasing simultaneously, appearing and disappearing in pairs of opposites. Opposites like feminine and masculine, water and fire, the sun and the moon, inside and outside, me and you. We hear about the twin miracle. The Buddha stands in the air and emits fire and water simultaneously. Fire from the upper half of the body and water from the lower, and vice versa. Fire and water are universal symbols. Fire represents the spirit and water the material. Fire is the masculine principle, the intellect, consciousness. Water is the feminine principle, the emotions, the unconscious. Fire and water represent all the cosmic opposites. In this miracle, the Buddha emits them simultaneously, representing the union of opposites at the highest possible level. Celebrating the Buddha is celebrating the Dharma Niyama, which needs to be contacted through myth and symbol, through poetry, through something that goes beyond our reasoning, beyond what we can know with our rational mind. It's entering a world of mystery where we no longer try to make things happen or think we can make things happen. We enter into a wisdom that doesn't belong to me or to you. Something that doesn't belong to this world of opposites, but comes out of it or from it. We need the confidence to know that this is the way. Life cannot be controlled, because there is an order of things which goes beyond our will. There is a famous quote by Einstein which says, "God doesn't play dice." If we take God away and put life, it says, "Life doesn't play dice." There is certainty in our evolution, or the higher evolution as Bhante calls it. If we make the effort and find what works for us, the progress is certain. This is, for me, one of the most appealing truths of the spiritual path. The fact that no matter how I am, the color of my hair, the color of my skin, the color of my eyes, the shape of my body, if I'm tall or short, no matter how much money I have or what my IQ is, if I put effort and the right conditions, progress is around the corner. This certainty gives me faith and confidence in humanity, and especially in my ability to become bigger, spiritually speaking. Celebrating the Buddha is celebrating our will to enlightenment, the intensity of a longing that tears us apart, a longing that can't let us live unnoticed anymore, a longing that continuously creates a newness in every moment, and it's ready to say yes even when we are terrified. What are we scared of? Our own unlimited potential? But is it our own? Or is the potential of life? We are part of life as much as the leaf falling down a tree. We think we are special, but are we? Just like the seed grows into a plant, we too grow into what we are, becoming truly human, going beyond ourselves, reaching for the light of love, the one which will set us free, boundless like children in a playground, full of energy and innocence, where the blue sky is the limit. In words of Ananda, we are reminded of the Buddha's love and compassion, he who is so kind. The Buddha was about to die, and Ananda says, he who is so kind. Kindness dissolves our fears. They become nothing when kindness is present. We don't need to protect or defend anything from anything else. When the heart is open, we enter in deep communication with one another, and a creative force is taking place beyond the limits of our ordinary perception. We are creating a Buddha land, a pure land, right in the middle of our daily lives, where magic and poetry spills out of our cup of coffee, between realities, between thoughts, between the between. Pingia's answer to the Brahmin comes to mind now, And with this, I'll conclude the talk. With constant and careful vigilance, it is possible for me to see him, to see the Buddha, with my mind as clearly as with my eyes, in night as well as day. And since I spend my nights revering him, there is not to my mind a single moment spent away from him. I cannot now move away from the teaching of Gautama. The powers of confidence and joy, of intellect and awareness, hold me there. Whichever way this universe of wisdom goes, it draws me with it. Then the Buddha spoke. Pingiya, he said, other people have freed themselves by the powers of confidence. Vakali, Bhadra, Buddha, and Alavi Gotami have all done this. You too should let that strength release you. You too will go to the farther shore, beyond the draw of death.